The institutional food services renaissance, why Sodexo's beat signals a $280 billion rotation from digital. That single number resets the tech playbook. The key question is not what happened, but what changes next for operators and users. We will map trigger, incentive shift, and downstream impact before the close. Sodexo was the dinosaur. DoorDash was the future. On July 1, 2026, Sodexo reported Q3 organic revenue growth of 5.8%, beating consensus by 140 basis points. The stock jumped 4.3%. Most analysts filed it under steady industrials doing steady things. They're missing the story entirely. Sodexo's beat is the visible signal of a structural reversal that's reshaping $280 billion in annual food services spending across North America and Europe. After 6 years of consensus that delivery would colonize every meal occasion, institutional captive dining is systematically reclaiming share from third-party platforms at a pace that will rewrite food services economics by 2028. And there are 3 invisible tailwinds driving this shift that almost nobody is talking about. First, the return-to-office dividend is finally real. Sodexo's corporate services segment, offices, corporate campuses, grew 7.2% organically in Q3, the strongest quarter since Q4 2019. But here's what matters. Same-site volumes in enterprise dining are up 34% versus Q3 2023, while office occupancy rates are up only 18% in the same period according to Castle Systems badge swipe data. That 16-point spread is pure wallet share recapture. Workers back in office 3 to 4 days a week aren't ordering Uber Eats to their desks. They're rediscovering subsidized cafeterias where a full lunch costs $6 to $8 instead of $18 to $24 delivered. The unit economics aren't even close. Goldman Sachs disclosed in April 2026 that on-site dining utilization at their New York and London headquarters now exceeds 2019 levels by 12%, despite headcount being down 3%. Employees are eating more meals on campus, not fewer. Second, DoorDash fatigue is quantifiable and accelerating. Third-party delivery platforms spent 2020 to 2024 training consumers that $25 for a burrito bowl is normal. It's not, and the backlash is measurable. DoorDash's average order value peaked at $27.40 in Q2 2024 and has fallen for 7 consecutive quarters to $23.10 as of Q1 2026. Frequency is down 8% year-over-year among users earning over $100,000, the core institutional workforce demographic. This isn't just about price. LinkedIn is full of finance and tech workers posting photos of corporate cafeteria meals mocking their former $30 Sweetgreen habit. Paying 3 times more for convenience you no longer need because you're in the office anyway feels wasteful in 2026. That's a cultural shift, not a temporary blip. Third, and this is the one nobody sees coming, corporate ESG food commitments create structural lock-in. 72 of the Fortune 500 now have formal Scope 3 food emissions reduction targets as part of net zero commitments filed with CDP or TCFD. Sodexo's WasteWatch AI platform cuts food waste by 40 to 50% in institutional kitchens. This is now a procurement requirement for companies like Microsoft, Salesforce, and Unilever. Once a multinational commits to reducing employee meal emissions by 30% by 2030, as Accenture did in January 2026, switching from an integrated institutional provider to fragmented delivery becomes ESG non-compliant. Sodexo disclosed on their Q3 earnings call that 18 enterprise clients added or extended contracts specifically citing emissions tracking capabilities. The delivery platforms have no credible answer here. They aggregate thousands of independent restaurants with zero supply chain visibility. Institutional food managers control the entire stack, sourcing, preparation, waste, and can report per meal carbon footprints to the gram. For procurement teams under board-level ESG scrutiny, that's not optional. It's table stakes. Now here's where this gets interesting. This shift intersects 3 other macro currents that amplify its power. Labor economics are converging. Sodexo pays kitchen staff $16 to $22 an hour with benefits. DoorDash drivers net $12 to $15 an hour as 1099 contractors now facing reclassification pressure in California, New York, and the EU. As labor costs align, delivery's cost advantage disappears. Institutional kitchens win on efficiency. One cook serves 200 lunches. One driver serves one order. Meanwhile, office landlords have figured out that food services is a Class A amenity. Brookfield and Boston Properties announced in June 2026 they're co-investing with Sodexo and Compass to upgrade food halls in 40-plus office towers. Institutional dining becomes a tenant retention tool, not just a cost center. And in a high-volatility food commodity environment, wheat production is down 11%, futures up 8%, institutional managers hedge at scale and reformulate menus in 48 hours. Delivery platforms are hostage to whatever 5,000 independent restaurants charge. That flexibility is worth 300 to 400 basis points of margin. If current trends hold, here's the 2028 endgame. Enterprise dining penetration reaches 68%, up from 41% in 2023. Third-party delivery plateaus at 18 to 20% of total food services spend, down from 26% in 2024. Sodexo, Compass, and Aramark collectively add $18 to $22 billion in annual contract value, most from share recapture. And ghost kitchen bankruptcies accelerate as delivery volumes stagnate. The smartest institutional allocators are already positioning. Fidelity increased a Sodexo stake by 2.1% in May 2026. Ares Management led a $340 million fundraise for an institutional real assets fund targeting corporate dining infrastructure in April. The asset class nobody thought about for a decade is suddenly interesting again. Sodexo's Q3 beat is the visible symptom of an invisible tsunami. $40 to $60 billion in annual food spend is rotating from fragmented, high-cost, carbon-opaque delivery platforms back to integrated, efficient, ESG-compliant institutional dining. This isn't nostalgia. It's the next evolution of workplace economics. The future of food services won't be won by the best app. It'll be won by whoever controls the physical space where people actually spend 40 hours a week. And that space, right now, belongs to the institutions. Everyone said delivery apps would kill cafeteria food. 3 months ago, Sodexo, the company nobody thinks about, beat earnings by 140 basis points. Here's why. Office workers are back, and paying 3 times more for DoorDash than a subsidized lunch doesn't make sense anymore.